But then you went vegetarian when I was in Costa Rica.
Yes. Yes, she was in Costa Rica.
2012.
2012. My drinking problem was really bad. Really bad. I had 3 DUIs. I had 10 driving with no insurance.
10?
Yes. 10 driving with no license. I'm going back from when I was 18. You know, I got into a lot of trouble. To the point where I went to jail for a little bit. I went to jail for a little while. I spent weekends in jail because I had a job and my boss fought for me to stay out. Well, during the week I still partied, and my life wasn't changing at all. And I saw myself going down this downhill spiral and following the paths of people who are close to me. So, you know, the last day of jail, I got out and it was party time, man. Like, my friends were like, "Woo, you're out of jail. The whole Alea is this big party where they shut down downtown Hilo. Is here, man. We're gonna party. We're gonna have fun, man. We're gonna do all this great stuff and get into more trouble. We have more DUIs." But then I just said, you know what? Nah, I think I'm good. It's like, no, it's not that. No, I'm not gonna drink now. I'm not gonna drink ever. I think I'm fucking done. You know, I went through withdrawals for a little bit, about a week and a half. Very bad withdrawals. But I stuck with it. About a month to 2 months went by, and I still got the urges to drink. And I remember one of the triggers was meat. I love chicken and I love raw fish. I used to eat them when I drank beer. So every time I'd eat them, my body was waiting for the alcohol to come down with it. So then I realized, you know, it was the whole meat eating thing. So Thanksgiving 2012, about 2 months sober, I, instead of eating turkey, entered a turkey trot. And it was a 5K, short one, about, was it 3.5 miles? I came in 88th place, which is not too bad, considering the 87 people before me were triathletes. You know, and then I went back home and my family had brought me turkey and brought me all this food and all this great stuff, and I was like, fuck, maybe I should just be too hard on myself. But, you know, I realized that if I'm going to stick with this sober thing, I got to stick with the no meat eating thing, because it was a big trigger for me. So I stuck with it. The urges of alcohol completely went away. Killing 2 birds with 1 stone. It's like, you know, it's saving the planet and it's healthy for me. So I came to terms with that shortly after I turned vegetarian. And it's stuck ever since. And now it's a habit. It was when the 5K had started my running obsession. So I started running like 30 feet a day.
30 feet?
30 feet a day when I first started running. And then I got up to where I was running fucking 13 miles a day, half marathons. No joke.
No joke.
I'd live in Hilo and people would see me out Popeye Cove from work. And they'd be like, "What the fuck? Did you just run that far?" I was like, "Yeah," and I ran back.
And I was in Costa Rica, and I remember he told me that he was vegetarian and that he stopped drinking. And I kind of written him off. I was like, "Look, I just cannot get involved with this dude. Like, he's in jail, he's drinking, he eats like shit. He's just not the guy for me. As much as I'm like head over heels in love with him, he's not the guy for me." But then you said that you're vegetarian and sober, and I was like, I was like, okay, I'll see you in Hawaii in a month.
Yeah.
And it's been so nice, like, having a sober partner who is also vegetarian. And then I think after like 6 months of us being together, you cut, you know, dairy. I think cheese was the only thing you had left.
Cheese was the hardest thing for me to give up.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I cook so good that you don't even miss the cheese.
I missed the cheese.
No, you didn't miss the cheese.
I missed the cheese.
But you forgot about the cheese, didn't you?
I just think of the poor cows.
Yeah.
And then it fucking just, the urge goes away.
How big?
Is that we're done?
Do you want to be done?
I just like to end with this, okay? I have never taken steroids before.
It's taken.
I've never... just get it all the time.
Or
I
I
don't know
never
why.
took.
I never took steroids. People ask me that all the time, and I fucking don't know why.
Because you're gigantic.
Yeah, but I'm not, you know, if you look at somebody who's on steroids, you know, there's no doubt in your mind that motherfucker's on steroids.
I don't know, though. Like, sometimes I even look at you and I'm like, did you take steroids?
I'm just so genetics.
I've lived with you now for 3 years. And I watched you like lose a fair amount of muscle when you stopped lifting.
Yeah.
And then I saw you start lifting again and just like naturally bulk up.
I fell to, what do you call that? Peer pressure. The guys at work was telling me, fucking vegans can't get big. Don't you miss being big to lift heavy shit? I'm going to show you how to fucking lift. And I'm going to show you how to get strong. And I'm going to show you that you don't need all that supplements and all that fucking meat, dude. And fucking proved it. Now, the other guys that I lift with, they just gave up. They're like, you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah.
Prove this wrong.
And you're still out in the backyard, like, getting your front squat rash.
Getting bruised. Well, this is tire flips. You can't really tell that, but...
Looks like hickeys.
Mm-hmm. Ah!